Do you guys want to hear another traumatic medical story? I've not run out, I've got loads. Spoiler alert, I survived. So bear that in mind. Okay, it's January 2018. That Christmas, I've been feeling unusually tired and I'd had this kind of like weird bloat, but I didn't think anything of it, because Christmas. Anyway, one night, I get up from the sofa to go to bed and the entire room starts spinning. I'm thinking, wow, what a crazy head rush. And in the time it takes me to walk from the sofa to my room, I am now feeling the worst I've ever felt. And I've been ill a lot. Okay, head pounding, dizzy, feel like I need to be sick, instantly feverish. I have no idea what's going on. I try to go to sleep. That obviously doesn't work out for me. So I decide I just need to get it out of my system, go to the bathroom, be sick. Then I wake up on the floor. No idea how long I've been passed out. The signs aren't looking great, are they? So I call my housemate in and I'm like, I think you just need to sit with me for a bit because I can't move, everything's still spinning and I don't know what's happening. She brings the washing up bowl, puts it on my lap. I'm like, maybe it's food poisoning, I just need to get it out. I throw up. We look down into this bowl. It's just blood. Over a pint's worth of blood. We look down, we look at each other. I've obviously gone white as a sheet. Georgia goes, should I call an ambulance? Yeah, probably yeah. The ambulance arrives, the paramedics are absolutely amazing. They came so quickly. They take me straight to A&E, who patched me right up. Blood transfusions, they do the endoscopy. What happened, if you're interested, is that I have some liver issues as a result of my CF, and those liver issues had caused what's called varices. Well, it was just one, which, as I understand it, is like an enlarged vein on the inside of my esophagus that basically had been leaking all Christmas and just burst, so it caused this massive internal bleeding. I didn't know I had them, but the way they fixed it was so cool. No surgery or anything, they just went down my throat and just like banded it up, just closed it up with a little band. Isn't that cool? Modern science is miraculous. Anyway, I spent a week in ICU and I was absolutely fine. I felt worse for my housemate, who had to go home and clean out the blood bowl. We didn't use it after that. We threw that away. So one time I throw up loads of blood and I get rushed to the ICU, right? Yada yada. And they take me to my local hospital, which is not my usual hospital for reasons which will become clear. And they introduced me to their CF doctor, who meets my mum, and we're already not huge fans of her because she keeps going on about how close I was to death, right? And when you nearly just died, it's not super helpful to hear that. I already know, like, please stop harping on about it. So one time she comes in when I'm on my own during a ward round with her crew, because doctors hunt in packs. And she goes, we want to keep you in for another couple of weeks as a precaution. Now, you have to bear in mind, I've been in and out of hospital my entire life, okay? I know my body very, very well. As a precaution. And I was like, well, sorry, no. If it's not necessary, I'm leaving. I have a job, I have a life to lead, I'd like to get out of my pajamas and eat some real food. Ta-ra, see you later, thanks for your help. She looks me dead in my eyes, she goes, what would your mother have to say about that? I was 23 years old. I look back at her, I go, doesn't matter what my mum would have to say, does it? She's not the one in the hospital bed. I'm a fully grown adult, stop infantilizing me. And that's the reason I don't go to that hospital. There has never been a more important filter than this. Jackpot. I knew it. I'm a masterpiece. I got a few comments like this, so I just want to clear this up. This isn't true of the UK. We've never had racially based voting laws here. That is not to deny the very real existence of systemic racism, which still persists to this day, but it was never enshrined in law. We never had segregation or Jim Crow or anything like that. Our voting laws were discriminatory in terms of class instead. So we're an incredibly classist country. We still are. That's why buffoons from Eton are allowed to be prime minister. And so for the 19th century, men's right to vote was based on how rich they were, how much property they owned. So we have to remember that race and class obviously intersect when we're talking about intersectional feminism. These things all interact with each other. It's really important to keep that in mind. But legally, if you were a black woman in 1918 who was married and had property, there was nothing stopping you from voting. Hello, could I please get a glass of white wine and, Dad, what do you want? A pint of beer. Sure, do you have your ID? Crap, we actually left our passports at the hotel. Sorry about that, but I promise you I'm 27. Yeah, I can serve you. Hand on heart, like, I remember MSN. I still can serve you. My dad can vouch for... Dad, come and tell her I'm 27. Yeah, she was born in 1995. It was a very traumatic year. Rude. See? You need your ID. Okay, Dad, I guess you'll just have to buy your own beer. No, I can't serve him either. You can't serve my 57-year-old dad. Not without his ID. But you don't need a piece of paper to tell... You have eyes, right? You can see him. Does he look younger than 21 to you? No offense, Dad. None taken. I'm gagging for a beer. I cannot serve either of you without your ID. Guess we'll both just have an orange juice then. One time I had the realization that if I was brutally murdered, there wasn't enough footage of me laughing with my friends to make a compelling Netflix documentary. And that's when I knew I needed to stop watching true crime. Okay, this one is a lot harder for me than the West Coast one. I think it's because I don't have as many frames of reference for it. If you say the U.S. South to me, I got Forrest Gump and that movie with Sandra Bullock in, what's that called? The Blind Side, right? And Mama Tot on here. That's pretty much all I know. So I'm sure I'm sounding crazy right now. And if I am doing anything remotely close to an accurate Southern accent, I bet it's cliche as hell. But I am loving my persona right now. I feel like I'm a Southern belle. I'm going to go to the University of Alabama and marry a basketball player and have 7 children. I love that for me. My sincere apologies to the people of the South for butchering your lovely voices. I'll work on that one. That is definitely harder. I'm sorry. I'd like to preface the story by saying I've always felt pretty safe in London. However, one time I was walking on the street on the phone to my mum. It wasn't late, but it was winter, so it was dark. And I'm just chatting, and I walk past this guy who thinks I'm talking to him. And he turns around and he goes, excuse the language, he goes, "What the fuck did you just say?" And I'm on the phone like, "What?" He goes, "What the fuck did you just say to me?" And my mum's on the call going, "Everything okay? What's happening?" And he starts walking towards me. And I don't know if he had a knife on him, but his hands were in his pockets and I just felt the situation didn't look good. So I put the phone down and I don't know genuinely what came over me, where I got this idea from, but I just stared him straight in the face and went, "Walk away." He was like, "What?" I was like, "Mate, I wasn't talking to you. Walk away." And he did, which has given me a lot of false confidence for if I'm ever mugged. I think we should talk about it. So if you didn't know that Lily Allen and Alfie Allen are brother and sister, you maybe also didn't know that she wrote a song about him. Way before he was famous, before he was in one of the most watched TV series of all time, she wrote a song called Alfie. And I'm not sure if he's ever forgiven her for it. I'll play it for you.